Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif. Baka's absent because he's moving today. So he is relocating.
Man's gotta move.
Yeah. Next time we see Baka, which I don't know if it'll be next week. I'm not sure because I don't know how quickly he's gonna get everything set up. But the next time we see him, he'll be in a different place. It'll look totally different. It'll be like a surprise for everybody.
Unless he just
we have no idea what it's gonna look like
behind him.
He's gonna he will set up wherever his new place is. He will set it up exactly like the old, and it won't look any different.
He could take his packing boxes and just paint them green and set it back behind.
Yeah, there we go.
There
Put some, like, glue the shelves on somehow so that he can put all his figures up.
I don't think you can do that with just cardboard.
He's very industrious. You've met Baka. He can make things.
Needs Gorilla Tape.
Happen.
Or Gorilla Glue.
Anyway, what games have you guys been playing this week?
A lot.
Not a lot. Not a lot at all.
Yeah, same.
Well, I mean, I've played the same game a lot.
Yeah, we
played the same game a lot?
Overwatch this week. A
we
lot.
played
Well, I mean,
Overwatch.
when do I not, though?
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
It just so happens that Chicken played it with me.
And I played it with you.
Yeah, I played a lot of Overwatch this week, you guys. A lot.
I played some Sea of Thieves, of course. Went in, played it. That's kind of a weekly thing, anyway. Of course, Grif and Ivy and No Pants and we hung out and played some Overwatch. That was fantastic. I enjoyed that, and then it's funny because like we get done, and Grif's like, "We're still playing, right?" Because we got done with the stream.
Well, I needed one more bubble to level up, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I can play another game and level up.
But I'm sad because we were doing the Mr. Hero thing, which was fun. But her and I played the arcade thing that was the low gravity thing, and I had more fun with that than I did the other one because it was
like Chicken is well aware, the special modes they go two ways. You either have a hell of a lot of fun because you're winning and it's amazing, or you're getting completely raffle stomped and there's literally nothing you can do about it.
Well, I had a good time with that one, and then you had the people that were trying to use Hammond as like he was getting destroyed every time, but he'd do the same thing, swing around in the middle of the room, and it's just like okay. So Griff got a couple plays of the game on that too.
Yeah, the next day I played by myself. The first game, Chicken was in here watching and watched me get a Reaper quad kill play of the game. Feels good, man. Feels good. Yeah.
So we did that. I did try out yesterday. I decided that I was going to try out the Black Ops 4 beta because I wanted to see, because they had like 4 play modes and one of which really sounds Overwatch like. It's Overwatch. Basically, but all they do is add. It's kind of a combination of what you think of with Overwatch and what you think of when you think of Call of Duty, which is you've got the points that you have to actually like defend or attack. So similar to Overwatch in that way, but there's instead of 1, it's 2. And you've got different loadouts depending on what type of character you pick. That might have, like the one that I picked, I just chose that character randomly, just hit the button and went. And it had like this barbed wire thing that would shoot out, and so that kind of acted. They had to get through the barbed wire to get into the room that you're in if you set it up correctly. That type of thing. It was very interesting. I got wrecked a lot
Really?
Because mouse and keyboard I am not very good at, and trying to go through and play against people with mouse and keyboard it's fun, but at the same time I got wrecked a fucking lot. So there are limited lives on there too. You don't have, like, your whole group has a set of lives. So I kind of wasted all of the group's lives, but it was fun. I enjoyed that for a little bit, and then played Earthfall this week. Earthfall was very interesting, very Left 4 Dead like. I think it's more difficult in some ways, depending on if you've got a group of 4, it's probably not, depending on what you set it on. But if you just got a couple of you and you're depending on 2 bots, it's definitely more difficult because it's basically the 2 of you.
Yeah, I know that all too well.
But it's a cool concept in the fact that you go from point A to point B, and you go into an area and there might be a defensive setup that you can put in, and then you set the alarm or turn on power, do whatever, which aggravates the horde and they start coming in, right? But what was an interesting added element is the fact that Mixer has interactive in it. So inside of my stream, underneath my entire name was all this different stuff that people could use their sparks to interact with our game. So we could be like, hey, can we get some more ammo? And they would drop ammo for us. Hey, can I get some more health? And they would drop some health for us. Or, hey, I don't want a horde, but here you go. So they could either positively or negatively affect your game, which I thought was kind of cool from an interactive standpoint. I love the fact that games are doing this. I loved it when we played Vermintide 2 and Grif was trying to destroy us.
I did a few times.
Did destroy us?
Yeah, she did. Well, it didn't help that somebody's like, we could play this whole thing on hard. And I was like, she's going to kill us.
Yeah, we got a chaos spawn and then you just died.
Yeah.
Feels good, man.
But it's a really good concept. I like it. I'm going to play Overcooked 2 tonight.
We played it yesterday. It was so fun.
Was it?
Everybody gets to drive the bus. So trying to get places because it puts you on a map in between levels. Like, the game is good, yes. But trying to get from place to place, and you've got, because it's me and my sister and him, I'm trying to get to places and, like, everybody's pushing different directions. So your bus is just, like,
that's awesome.
going off of one hill, and you're like, you need to go over there. And no. Yeah. It was fun.
Is it 4-player max?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And it has online, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no cross-platform.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm playing with people that I knew which platform they were on, so just when I got it on that one. So, got it on the Xbox for that. I assume y'all are on PC.
Nope.
Switch.
We got it on the Switch.
Did you really?
have
We
more
got it
control.
on the Switch.
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to get it on the Switch too at some point.
Yeah. I kind of
so
figured
I'll be out in
fun.
Seattle going, "Hey, y'all want to play a little bit of Overwatch?"
You know what?
Overcooked.
We want to know what one of the dangerous parts of that game is, though? Is I'm already notorious for falling off of stuff. And there's like a level where you're in the sky and you have to walk across this bridge. Guess who fell off the most? Me. There's a level with a cave, like you're in a cave and there's a big crack in the middle. Guess who fell in that the most? Me.
You can push each other
Yeah,
off
they
while
kept
you're
pushing
trying
me
to
off. Like at one point, all three of us were trying to cross the same bridge at the same time, and I'm the only one that fell. Both of them, like, he hits his little boost button, knocks me off, and then she bumps into me on the other side and pushes me off.
I just boost and dash through and push people out of my way. Like, they're trying to grab something. Like, get out of my way. I need this plate. Get out of my way. I need to serve this.
Well, the
And just start
downside
pushing
is
them.
you're trying to, like, put, like, you got this chopped meat that you need to put in the frying pan, and this motherfucker walks up and takes the frying pan right out from under you. So you just throw it on the ground.
No, why is there meat on the ground? Don't tell the customer that. Put it back in the plate.
Well, at one point we had one where the things kept shifting, so like one of the ingredients was on the far side. So I just stood on the far side and threw a bunch of ingredients on the floor so that they could get them when they needed it.
Yeah, because there was no throw in the first one, right? Like
I don't
throw's
know.
been added to this one, from what I understand.
It's the best thing ever. I don't care what it got added.
Yeah,
You can throw
throws,
food
yeah.
into people's hands. Yeah.
You can catch it, chop it up, put it in.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
It
think
was
so.
I'm looking
Our
forward to it
favorite
now,
one
especially
was,
since you all have already played it.
I think it was pizza was my favorite one that we got to do.
Oh
so
my
far.
god! There's
pizza
like
one was
at
fun.
one point the phrase "the forbidden corner" was come up with. You put it in the forbidden corner.
We can't get the corner because the maps will move and
Yeah,
change, and
the
they like
things are
cut us
shifting.
off, and you couldn't get back to wherever you needed to
But
be.
there was one where the shelves or the cabinets that you're cutting on shifted to another place. And when they stopped, if you had something that was the corners of that place, you can't reach cata corner. So
Yeah, you can't
it was
reach
just
catty
like
corner.
we needed to serve it, but it was in the forbidden corner.
So what happens if you fail? Do you just go back and play that level again?
you can
or
just
how's
do
that
it
work?
again.
Yeah. It's 3 stars. You can get 1, 2, or 3, and you need so many stars to unlock the next levels, and it just keeps
And
going.
unlike the special hidden secret levels or whatever they
Yeah,
are.
the secret levels. Secret levels are a lot harder.
Yeah, we're like,
tried
oh,
the
we need
first
to
one.
get $300, and then we unlocked a secret level. We're like, let's do that. And you need to get $900. You're like, okay, maybe not.
Okay.
And exit out.
Yeah. 4 ingredient ones and like four ingredients with 3 cooked parts are ridiculous because you're trying to manage who's got the meat, who's got the pasta, who's cooking this. I need shrimp chopped. And you're just yelling at each
Things
other.
are on
and then she
fire.
falls off.
At one point,
Oh
things
my-
were on fire, and I didn't know where the fire extinguisher was. I'm glad somebody found it. Was it you that found it? I didn't know where it was
I just
at.
think start fucking putting out fires and shit. No, you burned the damn food. Throw it out and start again. Oh,
So Griff, I got a question. If y'all were playing Overcooked 2 yesterday, does that mean that your sister on Friday night finished Final Fantasy X?
She finished it on Saturday because Friday was not her friend.
Oh, really?
Look at Chicken's face. If you're listening on Podbean, just go to this point in the video on YouTube and look at his face. You'll know everything.
We tried 6 times and she died to the last boss every time. She almost beat him twice, but after she left and Saturday morning I went and grinded a bunch and set up everything, she came back and crushed the fuck out of that dude.
Yeah. It was like not even, she was not even playing when she came back. So.
Nope, I was like, we ain't doing this again. We're not worrying about it. We're going to go ahead and smash the shit out of this motherfucker.
And then it has this really sad ending that, like, she's sad, I'm sad, he's sad, and now she's got to commit to playing 10-2 to get the small glimmer of happy maybe that's at the end of 10-2. So she's got to play a whole nother game
That's
now.
how they get you, man.
Yeah.
That's where they get you on that one. Is like, oh, you finished that one and you're like, and then you get you got to finish that one because you're like, what happens next?
You got to get the perfect ending. There has to be a happily ever after at least in one of these damn games.
Somebody's going to be happy or else.
Somebody has to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I started Monster Hunter World too. Took me 45 minutes to create my character.
Good gracious.
Yeah. So that was interesting. The only thing I was upset about is because I went with the bald character. I wanted one that create one that looked similar to me because I was doing it on stream. And the head is a little larger than I like it to be. Like, it almost looked like Megamind. It almost looked kind of like Megamind in a way. But the good thing is that he has like the strap of like goggles that go over the top of his head, so it kind of hides that. But at first I was like, it's got a big head, but all right, cool. And then going through and choosing stuff, and then your Palico was like another 20 minutes trying to do that one. So the first hour I got my characters done. Mm-hmm. And the next hour and a half, I went through and played some quests and stuff, waiting on Griff.
Let me tell you, that's part of why I haven't played The Sims in a long time, is because if I want to build a house, which is all I really want to do most of the time, I have to make the people that are going to live in it so I know how to design it for them. That's like 3 hours of work for just the people. So I know Monster Hunter will be the same because I've seen the character creation, like all the options and everything. I know.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I know that would be hours of my time right there because I'd be like, no, I don't like this. Scrap, start it over. Okay, I like this. Now let's make their friend. Okay, I don't like this. Scrap it, start it over.
Well, and I didn't know what to name the Palico. So the chat ended up voting and naming it after my dog, which is weird. Have a cat named after a dog. So it's Luna Proudpaw. Is what ended up being the name.
I would just name it Whiskey Whiskers.
Whiskey Whiskers?
Yeah.
Well, somebody else said because there's a
that.
pig you can get later on or something that goes around if you pet it enough. So the pig, somebody else had the pig and they named it, it was something, like the way it was done was basically, it was a complete pun. The whole thing was a pun. And it's like, I'm not doing that because if Griff ever saw it,
it was probably something like Tenderloin or something like that.
Yes, it was actually. Yeah, it was
Okay.
something T. Enderloin or something.
It would be tenderloins or some sort of bacon pun, is my guess.
I would just name it Bacon.
Or pork chop.
Ooh, pork chop would be a good name too. I'd be cool with that. So I'm not really sure if I want to name it after a food item though. Like I almost want to name it after like a character that's a pig. Like I wouldn't name it
Porky?
like Peppa Pig. But anyways, Porky. You could do Porky. Something like that. No? Not a fan.
No.
Do you prefer the puns or did you prefer like doing that? Like
No,
if I just named it Herman, would you be okay with that?
If it's a pig, I just think it needs a cute name because I think pigs are adorable. I mean, they're cute. I
got it. Truffles. Naming it Truffles.
Truffle Shuffle?
Well, because pigs are used for... Oh, I can do Truffle Shuffle. Pigs are used to, like, do the truffle.
Yeah, the truffle finding, yeah.
Yeah, so... It makes sense. And that's kind of what the pig is used for in the game.
Find me food.
Yeah, it's like you go around and find items and it's supposed to shake your controller if you use a controller or whatever.
I like that your food is finding you food. Like, thanks.
Right? Yeah, but you don't eat him.
I guess I don't have to
This is
have
my
bacon
pet.
today. Exactly.
He'd be my pet.
It'd be like having one of the little miniature potbelly pigs or something like that, where it's like, there's no point in trying to eat this. There's not enough here to eat. It's just cute.
It's like one piece of bacon. What's the point of that?
There's no point in that. Just keep it as your friend.
Right.
Well. Oh, and Chicken and I also played the update for... the last story update for World of Warcraft before the expansion comes out.
Yes.
Oh man,
How's that?
I sent Red a message just a minute ago because he asked me to let him know when I had played it, and I was like, I will kill Sylvanas myself, assuming that her people don't get to her first, because I think that is going to be the competition now. Like, the Alliance want to kill her, her people see what she's doing, they're gonna want to kill her.
Now, do you mean her people
first?
that were all part of like the Horde itself, or do you mean her zombie people?
They're
like
not
the
zombies,
Horde.
but yes, the Horde.
Okay.
Because the Horde are realizing
Forsaken.
that she has no honor, and it's not. She's
Well,
not.
she's pushing
a
the
war chief.
limits a little too far. It's like she's committing
killed her
war
own
crimes.
People to
There's
red
supposed
them.
to be rules of engagement, and that is
Yeah.
a rule of what people do, because there are certain lines that you're not supposed to cross in war.
You mean like chemical warfare, biological warfare? Yeah. Let's talk about Sylvanas using that.
I got a question. What, because it's coming out. Like,
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. By the time everyone listens to this.
23 hours.
All right. So what I want from both of you, because you both have played up to this point, right?
Uh-huh.
What I want from you is, what do you want out of this expansion?
To kill Sylvanas.
That's it. That's just.
At this
what
point,
do you want from the
she
world
burned-
itself to
Okay,
happen?
here's what I want. Sylvanas has got to die. And we need to have a new leader of the Horde emerge. And we need to have new treaties between our side and their side about how we're going to go about being peaceful from here on out. Because really, World of Warcraft, I get it. And I get that the orcs are notoriously war-heavy people anyway. But there's more to the Horde than just the orcs. We need to settle down. Everybody needs to regroup. We need to kind of like chill out for a while. Because all we've been doing is murdering each other for the past decade. I mean, we've had a few times where it's like, okay, we have to come together so that we can defeat Deathwing. But other than that, it's pretty much like, okay, that's over. Let's go back to killing each other. That's got to stop.
I mean, do you think it's a possibility there's going to be a third faction that's added out of this?
No.
People have speculated something like that might happen, like the Forsaken will break off, but I don't think they'll become player characters. I think, if anything, that they'll be NPC faction.
Yeah. I don't think there'll be a third playable faction. They'll just be bystanders, essentially. Kind of like some of our other smaller factions, like Kirin Tor and stuff like that. There's the mage group.
Iron, the Dark Iron have been a faction
Well,
forever,
yeah, that's true.
but now they're playable. So
I was just wondering, because if you have the peace treaty and everything else that goes along with that, who do you fight after that? Because that
is the end of World of Warcraft. I would say that's the end of World of Warcraft. They might time jump to do another MMO after it, World of Warcraft 2, but you'd have to do some serious time jumping, and you probably wouldn't want to do it within the context of your current player characters.
yeah.
So do you think this is the end?
I think it's awfully close if it's not.
Yeah, even a lot of people have been speculating, like, they're wrapping up a lot of storylines. Like in Legion, they wrapped up some major storylines.
Stuff that we've been dealing with since Burning Crusade got wrapped up in Legion. Stuff
Go back even further.
Yeah,
since
stuff
the
that's even
beginning,
before that.
Since the inception of Warcraft.
Yeah.
We've wrapped up
We've wrapped up a lot of...
So do you think this is a WoW 2? Do you think that they end up going back to their roots and go back to the like Warcraft 3, that style of game, or do you
I think they could do both. I think it could be, okay, so we wrapped up World of Warcraft. Here's our Warcraft style game that explains the time jump and how we're getting things set up for our next MMO, and then here's the next MMO to go immediately after this. The only thing I'm worried about is I know RTS is not super popular right now, but I think if anybody could successfully produce an RTS game, it would be Blizzard with a
100%.
Warcraft title.
Well, I mean, but look, you still got people that continue to play Warcraft 3 after all these years. So
Yeah.
And so do you think that that's the reason that they're doing vanilla now, is so people can go back through and play?
Oh, definitely. They're gonna tap into such a big market because they're gonna have one subscription. You just pay for your $15 a month, and you could play retail WoW, vanilla WoW, or if they come out with a new MMO, the new MMO. So you'll have 3 options to play. Hell, you're gonna have 2 options next year to play. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for a fact.
That is speculation. Please do not take it as fact.
It's looking like next year will be when vanilla is coming out.
Look, that's good. I mean, I think it's good timing right after a good expansion, and if everything does get wrapped up, I'd be interested to see that. But I'd also interested to see replayability for those people that have enjoyed the game for so long, going back through it and being able to play too. I think that's part of what I always love is the fact that you all would take a break for a certain amount of time, and then all of a sudden it was like, hammer.
Yes.
It's just down, 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 down. I got to go through. I got to get this quest.
Yeah.
I got to get this. Does it make you sad, Grif, because you are a mount hoarder? You're the person that goes through and gets all these different mounts. If this is the case and this is the end of it, does it make you kind of sad that you work so hard to get those mounts?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I still have them, and it means that the game, I doubt that they're going to pull the servers down anytime soon.
I don't
So even
either.
if this is the last
10 million people
expansion,
to play the game.
it means
Oh,
that I've got
whatever.
time to go get the other ones I still don't have.
They've actually stated for vanilla, like when they put up the servers, they're going to keep them up. They're going to keep them up for good until like the server farm burns down. Like even if there's only 100 players, you're going to be allowed to keep playing. They're
awesome.
dedicated to you, to playing. So
Yeah,
I
so I imagine
it's a lot of
that's going to be how
respect.
the retail version is too.
That'd be awesome.
So no,
And
I
would
don't.
you want a graphics update for World of Warcraft 2, or do you want the same cartoony look?
I have seen people remake certain areas in World of Warcraft on the Unreal Engine 4, and
looks
it is some of the
amazing.
most intense stuff I've ever seen.
I think the only reason that Blizzard hasn't gone that avenue, though, is because they know a lot of their player base. This is one of the only games they play, and so they don't have super high-end PCs, and they want those people to still have access to the game. So I think it's more of an accessibility thing that they haven't done a huge graphical upgrade on it, more than it is that they just don't have the technology or time, or that they don't care. It's that they
I don't
want it
disagree
to
with
be
that.
open to people that have, we bought this at the store, I don't know anything about PCs, will it run World of Warcraft? Yes. Like, that's all they're worried about.
Definitely
It.
run World of Warcraft.
So, will we
You
get
could
an
have a-
upgrade? Meh. Because I think that's
Probably.
going to be on their mind a lot.
Right.
Probably because they're trying to keep the level at what it was in 2004. Like they make things look nicer, but those PCs can still run it. You're still good to go. They're not forcing you to upgrade your PC as they release the game. But if they release a new game in 2020, that's going to be the standard. Like
Yeah, I
this
guess
is
that's
what you
true.
should have.
Yeah, I guess
this
that's true.
point.
And by the way, if you haven't upgraded your PC from 2004 to 2020, it's time. It's
Yeah.
time.
I mean, they gave
Just-
you almost 20 years to upgrade your PC.
Just
Go ahead
do
and
it.
upgrade it now.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
I'd like to see a graphical update, like just from y'all's standpoint. Like I don't play the game. I am going to play vanilla when it comes out. We've had that discussion before. And it's funny. I told Maldus the same thing. He was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yes, I'll do it.
Hell
I'll do
yeah.
it." But my thing is I would like to see a graphical update just for y'all because it has been. I feel like everyone has spent that amount of time into the game that at some point it needed to upgrade in order to be able to, like, to just be like, okay, now this is a new game, not this is World of Warcraft 1.2. It's like this is an actual 2. This is a separate game, has a different feel to it. So you still want to play like your lore and everything else would still be there, of course, but you could do whatever. Would you want to see any of the characters to cross over? Would you prefer it
I
to
think
be
the
like a
only
whole
way
new
you
world?
could do it is if you time jump so far that anybody that is still alive is ancient, just about.
Oh man, my poor heart. Like seeing Warcraft, like the original Warcraft and Warcraft 2 and all of those legendary heroes from the original game, seeing their statues as you walk into Stormwind
Yeah.
or Orgrimmar and whatnot, like you know them, you've seen them, you've played as them.
Or
And
seeing,
then
walking through, like, the new updated thing and seeing, monuments to Varian Wren. You're like, oh, my
It's like
heart too.
I was just hanging out with him a few expansions ago and now he's gone. Like them doing a time jump again and all the characters that you see are now statues and are part of history like your character is. It's like one of those, oh, my heart. It's time to be a hero again. So
if you could do a, let's say it's a millennium for now. So like you go up and you jump 1,000 years in the future or whatever. And would you prefer to see something distressed, or would you prefer to see something that's just beautiful that becomes distressed while you're in it?
I mean,
Like, because I'd almost want to see something distressed, like what the fuck happened, so the story reveals what happened in the 1,000 years before.
the way I would rather something beautiful with with problems as it evolves into a story, because that's exactly why people like vanilla, is because when it started, your player character was
just
a
some
nobody.
dude or
it was
lady,
just a
you know,
nobody, just
out there.
person doing your farming thing, fighting monsters, doing whatever. And then as it evolves, you become more and more important, more integral to the story as a whole.
Yeah, at some point you changed from being addressed as adventurer or hey you to champion to hero, So now we're legendary. But I think to answer your question a little further, as far as like, would you want to see it distressed and then the story tell you? The problem with that is that means that the world would have to have collective amnesia, or something terrible had to happen to your character at the start of the game, or your character rolling, in order for you not to know what was going on with this distressed world, because it would be somewhere that you grew up. So I think it would have to start out with, okay, look at your ideal life, look at all this nice stuff that's happening, okay, and then things are on fire, and now you're, you are a young adult who has to figure out what the hell, happened, who set this fire, and how do I put it out? And that's where your story begins.
Yes.
Fair enough.
It's different than a linear story game, or not even linear, but just stuff like Fallout, whatnot, where you're a single player coming into it. It's a multiplayer thing, and you'd have to have some world knowledge. It can't just be...
I'm very interested to see what you all end up thinking of the expansion this week.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Servers open at 5 p.m. We will be streaming. I will be dying, probably.
You got enough G Fuel to last you the whole time. It's 3 in 24 hours, folks. 3 in 24
3 at one time? What?
No.
Really?
I do them back to back.
I was going to do 2 in 1, because I got this Powerade bottle. It's 32. It's 32 milliliters, so I was going to fill it up, put 2 of them in there, and just go.
You can.
Just keep it going.
And my sister's making cupcakes for us.
Oh my God, the third one until later.
I told my sister we were doing a 24-hour stream, and I wanted some cupcakes. And she thought I meant I wanted 24 cupcakes. She's like, okay, so I need to make 24 of these, right? And I was like, no! Why would you make 24? That's a cupcake an hour. We will die of diabetes before the end.
Or as they say around here, diabetes.
Diabetes. Yeah. Catch the diabetes.
But yeah, they're going to be Alliance-themed cupcakes. We'll show them off when we get them. We should be getting them today, and then we'll eat them.
She sent me a test picture, so.
I got to see. You got to show me later. I'm so excited.
Okay. I will.
Are you going to show it to everybody?
I don't think I can, because I think my camera is too far away. You can't really tell anything, but they have glitter on them.
That's cool.
The golden and blue.
Yeah, so that's her base
fantastic
to start with. But yeah, super excited for the Alliance. And if you're not, fight me.
Oh, girl, almost added something to the end.
Fight
of
me,
one.
bitch! I will.
Hey, you know what? This is from the person that says, hey, I want peace when all this is done with the Horde and everything else. Is like, fight me if you're not on the Alliance.
Hey,
if they're starting to battle her.
They
started it.
Yep.
Yeah, but if they fight back on the backside of that, I don't disagree with that, with the whole honor thing, because I feel like, the little I know about it, I do feel like there's some honor there that goes along with some of the races that are there, but for the most part, I mean, like, I like what the Alliance stands for and everything that goes along with that. Don't want to be killed later.
Watch your words now.
But I do feel like it's cool if that's what this leads to. If it leads to some catastrophic bullshit happening, a big fucking tree burning, everything else that goes along with that, to them all going, what the fuck have we done? And creating a new, creating something better in the end of it, that's pretty awesome. And if it means that you're going to get World of Warcraft 2 in 3 years or whatever, then, or
Probably
2 years or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of WoW lore, and there are not many baddies left. Like, we're just about out of the baddie bag.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, not that there can't always be people in the works right now. You've still got, like, one of the people that we have not seen since the End of Legion stuff started happening is Gallywix, which is the leader of the goblins. We saw him in that one cinematic with Sylvanas when they first started mining the Azurite, but we haven't seen him since.
Yeah, but he's a fat guy. Have you ever seen where he lives?
Yeah, I know. He lives in, like, a pile of money. Why would you ever leave
that? Like, he's got a big old fucking house, big mansion, a pool, like this big old canopy thing that he lives up there.
But I mean, what I'm saying is he's away, and he's got money, which means he can be backing the League of Villains right now for all we friggin' know.
Okay, first of all, the goblins are greedy, not evil. They're extremely greedy.
Yeah, but that means that they'll do some awfully sketch stuff for some money.
Yes, they will. But it has to include money. It's like a mercenary. They don't work for free.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. You guys want to talk about some news stuff? Because we're already half an hour in, and I can definitely talk some World of Warcraft for days. So.
Yes, I know. Then we'll start one that Oak touched on earlier. He was playing Monster Hunter on Steam. Mm-hmm. Stop touching things. Monster Hunter World is the biggest Japanese game on Steam.
Surprising
ever. It hit number 4 on the list of people playing that game, which it deserves because that game is incredible.
Yep. Congrats to them. Well deserved.
Reading the reviews, though, there's only one major issue: the multiplayer. You can't play with people who haven't beaten parts of the story. Like, both people have to play through the story, and then you can play together through that story.
Oh.
As far as I understand it.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I have to wait for him to finish, and I have to finish, and then we can play together again. It's like, oh, come on now.
Yeah, well, and then there's elements to where you're going through and you're getting a quest, and you can take somebody else's quest if they're asking for help, and you can go through and play like that. But it's not your friends; it's just people online. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm going to try to fight the monsters on my own until I need somebody. That's the thing I can figure. So, because I almost feel like I haven't gone through it too much. I definitely haven't grinded that much. But if you go through and you grind, I feel like you could build pretty easy just based on some of the things I've seen. But we'll have to see. I have to finish a few more quests and see where I'm at on that. But because it's still the first few quests are all tutorial things, right? That you need to do this, you need to do that. Da, da, da.
Here's how you use this thing that you have.
Yeah. So it is like the combat I really like though. I like the combat. So
yeah, it's very interesting. It's a lot of freedom. You can kind of do whatever you want.
Well, and you pick, and what I like is they're like, here are all the weapons, and there's like 20. How do you want to play?
Pick your play style.
And they have this is cool too. You don't have to read anything. They have a video to show you exactly, and they tell you if you're a person that likes to fight up close and you want to use big weapons that move slowly, this is what you have. If you like to fight up close and you're fast, this is the one you'll do. If you want to shoot things, here's your options. There's one that shoots big items. There's one that shoots small items. There's one that shoots, I was like, that's pretty badass, you know? And then you get a whole training ground that you can go into. And I'm like, this is awesome. So that's pretty, it doesn't surprise me though. Monster Hunter World is a beautiful, beautiful game. I've read recently too though that, like you have to have a hell of a fucking graphics card and everything else to run it at 1080p.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
With the higher settings.
I mean, I get wanting your game to be pretty, but how about you just make it accessible to most people at least?
But it shouldn't be to where if I'm playing on an Xbox One X or if I'm playing on a PlayStation 4, that it looks better than it does on my PC.
Yeah,
true.
I completely agree with him.
Maybe
if
it's
I'm playing
not
on a
optimized.
PC,
is it an optimization issue then?
It's got to be an optimization issue.
It could be, but that game is also hyper intense. Like I played the beta for Monster Hunter 4, and like the way the world looks is so beautiful, and they put so much detail into every feather on every single monster. It is ridiculous. So I mean, it's if Xbox can, if the consoles can run it, the PC can run it. It's just they're gonna put more strain on your PC because they know it can handle it for the most part.
Yeah, but I feel like if I'm running it at high level, so not the ultra level or whatever their version of ultra is, if I'm running it at a high level on my PC, that should be the equivalent to what I'm looking at when I'm looking at an Xbox One X. Like their high end, other than the 4K part, should be everything that was on there. And to me, it's not. Like it looks good. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't feel it's the same quality on there. And like I've got a 1060, which is a lot more powerful than what they're currently running in the other. You know, it's just like I feel like it's not optimized. I do feel like it's an optimization issue, and it could be something that they could patch in later on and fix it.
Yeah, they did have to build the whole multiplayer thing from the ground up because they didn't have one for PC. So they may have spent a lot of time on that, and then hopefully they'll address the graphics.
Yeah, I mean obviously they're not hurting for money right now. Good job, GG Japan.
Yeah, good job Capcom.
You know, so yeah, I think it'll end up being pretty good option later on, that they'll end up having to do something about that. I just don't see it being a continual issue for any means. So,
Yeah.
Awesome.
so all right, so that was Capcom one. We've got a few Bethesda ones.
There's definitely some Bethesda.
We had QuakeCon this week. So
Yeah.
the one I'm most excited about is they did go ahead and give us in-game footage of Doom Eternal, which looks fucking amazing. The gameplay on it looks awesome. New weapons. One of the things I really love, the fact that they touched on, they wanted Doom to have its own lore. So they're building the lore as they go through the games versus just what we've had in the past, which is
You're
here's
Doom
a game,
guy, go.
Doom guy and go, right? The Slayer, the Demon Slayer. So I'm really excited about it. I also love the fact, and Chicken's going to love this part too, is at the very beginning you see him playing through, and it looks great, everything's going good, and then the guy goes, "You want to see some mouse and keyboard?" And then they switch to mouse and keyboard, which is so much fucking faster. Whoever's on it's amazing. But what was really awesome is the fact that they give you options for you to play with your friends to where they are some of the demons. You are the Doom guy. Go through and play through that way too. Yes.
Oh, that sounds fun.
So you actually can enter some games, and you can play it how you want. If you want to play it single, where you don't have that as an option. If you want to play it to where only your friends can enter your game, or if you want to play it where everyone has an option to be able to do that, you can play it that way too.
So is that like just the campaign where they can jump in and be they took that straight from Dying Light. Hell yeah! Because if you leave your game open, they could jump in. People can jump in as the monsters and kill you in your own game. That's a cool as hell fucking mechanic. I really like that.
Yep. So they're adding that into the game. Of course they'll have the multiplayer and everything else that they have. They've upgraded some of the demons from Doom 2 to put into this, which I thought was pretty neat. So there's some really cool stuff that's on there. What's still funny to me is the fact that it's going to be available on everything, including the Switch.
Oh wow!
Still love
that. That is fucking awesome. Resident Evil 6. That's what it was. Resident Evil 6 allowed people to jump into your campaign games and try to kill you and end your campaign.
We did that. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I was trying to figure it out. I was like, I know there was a game that did it a while back ago.
Yeah.
I think it was the first one that started doing that. You could
jump in as some of the zombie people.
I highly recommend, if anybody's a fan of first-person shooters in any way whatsoever, to watch them play through that. Because it's 25 minutes long of them going through and it kind of explaining to you everything that you see. And I don't know what engine or what they're doing with their engine for Doom, but oh my god, and I hope to god it's at PAX. I really do, because I will wait the 2 hours in line to play that shit. Oh my god, it was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, just unbelievable, and that's the one that I'm most excited about. What you got?
They've updated, or they've talked about Fallout 76 and how they're going to try to deal with griefers, and it's one of the things that I was wondering about since they announced Fallout 76 is, well, what if I'm just trying to do my thing and somebody comes up and wrecks my face repeatedly, because that's my luck. And Chicken was telling me how they plan on addressing that, though I do have a few questions about that. But Chicken, go ahead and explain to them how you explained it to me, how that's going to happen.
Okay, so when two people come into contact with each other in this world, because it's a shared world, always online, two people come into contact with each other. Player 1 is a PvPer, wants to fight. He attacks Player 2. Player 2 feels a slap. It's not going to be like, I hit you with a rocket launcher, you instantly die. It's a slap. PvP has been initiated by Player 1. Player 2 has the decision to re-engage, which turns into a PvP fight. If you die during the PvP fight, you drop your junk, you drop some caps, and you respawn somewhere else. Cool. You chose to fight, you lose, or you can kill the other dude, take his shit. But Player 2 does not want to fight. Player 1 kills Player 2. Okay. Player 2 loses nothing. No caps, nothing. He just respawns back wherever he decides to. Player 1 is now marked as a murderer on the map. Everybody can see where he's at. So now You are labeled as a bounty, so people can now hunt you. You get killed by the other players, you lose your stuff, and you pay them your caps if you die.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
I
get punished.
I do
if
wonder
you attack
about that
innocent
though.
people.
Like, how much of a slap do you feel if somebody hits you with a Fat Man mini nuke?
It's just a slap because PvP is not initiated.
How do you
basically-
explain negating that kind of damage?
Well,
Okay,
but
first of
how
all, it's
mad
the
are you too
mechanics.
though if you're the griefer in that case and you do hit him with that and it's just like the guy's standing there like, dude, what the fuck?
Or I also have another question. I wonder, and this is not answered in the article from what I saw. This is just me wondering outside the box. What happens if you are passing by somebody who has initiated combat with an NPC and you wander into the crossfire on accident?
Okay, you
Is
get
it
slapped.
still-
Don't shoot
so,
the other
so
player.
just move back?
Yeah.
Also
like,
wondering if it's possible for somebody to be like, oh, this person's fighting, let me help. And there's actually 3 of you, one standing on the opposite side. So this guy is shooting at the NPC, shoots you, you shoot them. You've accidentally initiated PvP combat.
Then you choose whether to continue through with it or you
Well,
back
and if
out.
I'm just
well,
thinking about
'cause
all
here's
these scenarios.
Well, but even then, let's say that we'll use your scenario. There's 3 people that are sitting there. You got an NPC that's in the middle. Everybody's trying to help. This person accidentally shoots this person across. This person accidentally shoots the person on the other side. Now it's initiated. So there's no murder.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, somebody would end up dying, but there's no murder that's involved. It becomes PvP at that particular point.
Yeah,
I wonder
because
how
that's
many
just
people are going to
Crossfire.
try to negate that by jumping into Crossfire and be like, oh, sorry, dude, yeah, I just totally accidentally shot you. We'll just kill this guy. They kill that guy, and since PvP's already initiated, the guy that jumped in on purpose then murders you and takes your stuff. It's not murder. They're not labeled a murderer. They
Then
just
you
got
have to watch your shots, man. If you see a random person just running up onto your firefight, don't just keep shooting. Be like, whoa, I'm
Griff's
gonna
starting to
sit
think
down.
about like think of things as a griefer right there. Look at that shit.
Well, I'm thinking because I want to, if I want to pick this game up at any point, I want to avoid griefers at all costs because that is not what I'm in it for. So,
Correct.
And PvP is normalized across the board. Like it's like in WoW, if the 2 people, commit to the PvP, their items are basically normalized, and you're on even ground. Good luck, go at it. The level 80 player is not going to be super more powerful than level 5 player. He's going to have more weapons, but I mean, if I'm fucking good with this pistol, I'll kill your ass just like if you were a level 20 or whatever. So.
But I love the
PvP
fact
comes
that
to
that's the
skill.
case too. So if I look at it and see the guy sitting there in full power armor, and he hits me, I can go, yeah, I'm not doing that,
yeah.
and just walk off. And now he has a decision: should I murder this guy because I'm a level 80
And
I
power
haven't-
armor?
You have power armor, so I don't have to really worry. If somebody comes after me for the bounty, that it's not that big of a deal. Or should I?
I don't know, man. You're going to be one murderer against a bunch of people that want your money.
I'm really interested to see how this leveling works because they say there's no cap.
Yeah, and
There's
it's
no
a
level
card,
cap.
It's a perk-based system with cards. Now that gets me a little worried because they did talk about, if I could find it, like microtransactions or something like that. And I don't know if you're going to be able to buy cards. There you go. Buy cards or whatnot. They haven't said one way or the other 100%. So,
But to be fair, based on the system they've set up for griefing, it shouldn't matter.
yeah.
And based on
Well,
what they
unless you
said,
get
the level
somebody
5
that's
versus the
dropped
level
a
80.
bunch of money
Yeah.
right out of the gate and bought a bunch of cards, so even if he is a griefer, it's not like, you're going to be able to stop him.
No, but he loses everything.
Yeah,
If
you
you
don't
kill
get your
him.
bonuses.
If you
Yeah.
kill him.
Wait, no. You don't get your bonuses, your card bonuses. None of the thing that you buy or have perks or whatnot affect your PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm trying to decide what their draw to buying them is going to be. Because if it doesn't affect the player-based combat, it's just the NPC combat.
Fallout 76 has what appears to be a random chance packs of perk cards. It is yet unknown if you can buy these using real money. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
we'll
get them.
see.
You might be able to buy them
This
with
is-
caps instead of
76
real
is something
money.
that I want to keep my eye on because it has me very concerned, and I am 100% middle of the road about it.
Yes, it has me intrigued is the right word. I want to see how Bethesda, this great company that we put on a pedestal, handles this type of game. I want to see if they're going to be smart and caring about the consumer about it, and they really want this game to succeed, or if they're just gonna roll down the Activision style and be like, we just want money from it. I don't care how we make it, we just want money.
Speaking of money, by the way, it will not be on Steam. There's not really been much of a reason given for why, but my guess is that they probably don't want to share that 30% of the profit. I mean, they've got the name recognition. They can get away with selling their product on their digital storefront and not on Steam, because you can always add it to your Steam library.
I think the main thing is to promote their own client on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I already have their client downloaded. They have Bethesda's launchers right
the amount of clients
Yeah, I know how you feel.
Right? That is like one of the great things about Steam is it consolidates so much, but then even some of that stuff requires alternative launchers, like the Far Cry stuff. You have to have Ubisoft's launcher still, too. And you're like, but I just want... come on. I don't want to have to download another one.
Right?
So I just keep my things downloaded.
I'm gonna run out of hard drive space for games because it'll all just be launchers.
It's like I've got my main hard drive and most of it's clients. Everything else is put on other hard drives.
That's mine too. Like my C drive is where all of the launchers are, and then like my D drive is my library.
I'm like, this is dumb. What is going on? Craziness. That is interesting that they're not doing that.
I mean, it makes sense, though, because the Steam gets, I think it's 30% or something like that of everything, or the profit that's on their storefront. So I guess that's an extra 30% to Bethesda.
Is it across the board, I wonder, like that, though? Like, I mean, if I'm an indie developer and I go in there, you're going to take 30%? Or, because, I mean,
well, it might be
being somebody that's done business, if I do business with you, and let's say if whoever I'm doing business with and I'm purchasing something from them and I can say, hey, I'm going to buy 30,000 units of that. And then Joe Blow off the street goes in and say, I'm going to buy 500 units of that. I'm going to get a better price because I'm buying more of it. So I'm wondering if the same thing works with them for the larger developers to go in and turn around and go, okay, yeah, I'll put it on your format, but I want more of the profit off of it.
I don't know.
So, because they're still going to make, if they sell 30,000 units, well, in this case, it's going to be hundreds of thousands of units, but if they're going to sell the units and put it on there and you turn around and you put it at 15% versus 30%, So it sounds to me like the main thing to me is that they're trying to push their own client is what they're doing, which is good because they've got their own stuff on there that they need to push, so.
Yeah, I don't fault them for it. I just am inconvenienced a little bit.
Yeah. But now, can you, because I know that Steam has an option if it's on your computer that you can put it in your
Steam
library.
Yeah. Yep. But if it requires the launcher to open, like with Far Cry, like I said, it's in my Steam library, and I bought it from Steam, or actually, Ivy and No Pants bought it from Steam.
Uplay.
Yeah, but every time you launch it, it opens the Uplay launcher anyway.
That's fine. That's how it is with Ghost Recon Wildlands,
that's also
Ghost Recon, The Division, Rainbow
all of
Six,
stuff.
Everything. Every time you open up a fucking Uplay game, it always opens up Uplay.
So annoying.
Well, that's why a lot of the EA stuff, EA's, I don't know if it opens Origin or not, but I've also noticed that a lot of their older stuff just doesn't appear on Steam, but you have to have the launcher for that. It's like, stupid Origin. Origin's dumb. Hate you.
Yes.
They talked about Rage as well. Speaking of I hate things.
Multiplayer. It's gonna have a social component.
I don't know what that means. Is it like a Twitter feed, or is it going to be like in Dark Souls where you can leave clues for other people?
That might be a possibility.
They have not said anything about it, and they said they're not ready to talk about it. So all we can do from here on is just speculate on what they're going.
It would be interesting if they created something new that other gaming platforms and stuff go on there, because what I like is they said we have enough content to keep you busy long enough that we don't think you need the multiplayer. And I'm sorry, did you just say there was a single player element to this and storyline?
I'm totally
last
fine
a long
with
time.
that.
I thought single player games were dead. What is going on here?
That is just what the industry tries to tell us, so they don't have to make them.
Yep.
Because it's easier to sell microtransactions for multiplayer games than it is for single. which is just a shame.
Yep.
Shame. Yep. I do wish though that it had a co-op component, because I think Rage is a game that would be fun to be able to go and slay people together with your buddies.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
It's gonna feel a lot like, I guess, Borderlands-esque, where it's just lots of chaos, lots of explosions, and what's better than doing that? Doing that with your friends.
That's what made me think about it. Is, you know, I've been playing Borderlands stuff recently with Newbie. That's what it made me think of it. Is I wish that Rage was a game that we could create chaos together in as well, in a co-op setting. I mean, I don't care that it doesn't have a multiplayer shoot other players kind of thing, but it'd be nice if I had co-op.
Oh, agreed. Totally.
I'm a big fan of shooting people with my friends. What else you got?
Oh, you want to do the emulator?
Yeah, we can do the emulator. I closed the article that I wanted to talk about.
Which one? GG.
The Torchlight one.
Oh, I closed that one too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I need to try to re-find it. But we can talk about the emulator one until I find it again.
There's because of legal action, there's an 18-year-old emulator that the site itself that is basically looking at. They've pulled a bunch of ROMs and stuff from it because of legal action. A lot of gamers use this site. People we know have used it, and there's always this fine line with emulators. People have talked about in the past of the legality behind it. There's been stuff done in the past about it. If for any reason you have, from what's been legally done before, I've got to really say this in the right way.
You gotta be very careful about this.
Yes, from what's been done before is basically if it's something that cannot be purchased currently. So you can't go through and buy it first party from whoever created it, that there is a little bit of an option for the consumer to be able to go out there and have it emulated. Nintendo's gotten around this in the past because Nintendo will have on their store older games that you have to repurchase. So that keeps them legally attached to their property. So you can't do the emulation. I do have an issue with it a little bit because with like speedrunners, people like that do Mario and things like that, part of the speed run goes along with the controller being used along with that too. And to me, it's more fair to be able to stick with the Nintendo 64 if you're doing Super Mario 64, whatever, for that type of thing. I'm very interested to see where this ends up going, because it's been subject in the past, but 18 years later, they're finally doing something on this one. It's like.
And the thing is when you close these down, and you were just talking about speedrunners, is that you lose all of these old classic games that, you know, the obscure games that people speedrun. Oh, I've heard of this one. Oh, wow, that looks really fun. I want to go ahead and download
that dolphin game that I have never heard of until they were speedrunning it. And you're like, yeah, people love when people speedrun this. Literally had never heard of it before.
Echo the Dolphin or Echo the Dolphin?
Something like that, I think. Yeah. I was like, that's okay.
This guy's tweet on the article, Frank I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I ain't gonna butcher it.
Frank. It's just Frank.
Yeah. ROM sites shutting down only feels as big as it does because of the completely abysmal job the video game industry has done keeping its games available. There is no alternative but piracy for 99% of video game history. Mm-hmm. Because all of the games, like, there's no way that you can get them. There's no way that you can play them. I mean, you'd have to jump through so many hoops to try to find a specific console and then a specific game and then spend hundreds of dollars on it. Or
well, thousands. Even then, if you look at emulator sites, a lot of times they'll have 4 different versions or 5 different versions of the same game. It might be the Japanese version, it might be the American version, it might be a particular update that was done to the game because it was a certain edition of the game that was released that created certain things. It's like when speedrunning's done, a lot of times it's done with like the Japanese version of the game, and part of the reason it's done with that is because there were bug fixes that were done to keep them from being able to do the speed runs. And so I understand the legality and yes, it is their property and things like that, but at the same time, if you're not going to make it available, we've got to find a way to make to where we can get it. And to me, I think the better option from a public standpoint is if you have somebody like Nintendo that goes out and says, look, we are never planning on putting this on anything ever again. Please keep that up. Because we want people to know that it exists and everything else. And it always maybe give us a possibility. If you look at it and you see your downloads are really high, we might want to put it on our console. Or we might want to create a sequel to this that hadn't, because it's popular. But if we're putting it on our consoles, we're going to ask you to remove it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's to me, that's a better way of handling it. We need to get our money off of it, and give you that option. So I don't know. It's just... It's frustrating in so many ways when you get with the emulators because they're an evil necessity.
Yes.
Evil.
Well, I'm not going to say evil. I think in a perfect world we would have a retro ROM library where there's just a site where all the companies just throw up all of their old games, and if you want to play them, you can. It lets you gauge your audience. Wow, this game seems to get really fucking popular. How about if we go ahead and fix that and then go ahead and resell it? Put it on, whatever, and whatever you want. Remaster, whatever, because people seem to really like this game for some reason, like the Crash Bandicoot or like Sonic or Spyro. Loosely we talked about that last week, but things like that, and it lets people have a legitimate place to experience all of those old retro games that you just can't get anymore.
Well, I mean, you're talking about somewhere that parents would use for their kids. Like in Oak's case, his kids aren't going to have access to some of the consoles that he played as a kid. And if there was a place like that where they could play emulators, he could be like, Dad used to play this game. Isn't it fun? And they'll be like, Dad, you're a dinosaur. But it's still the option for that to be a thing, where it brings people together, which is what games are supposed to do anyway.
Exactly. They are, and people need to know where the history is. It's on there. I mean, if you look at Ready Player One, the reason that book and that movie does what it does is because it celebrates the history of gaming in general, and our cultural histories as well. We've got to keep that alive. History is not just in the books that we read and worry about world history and American history and the history of the UK, everything else that goes along with it. It's not just that. It's what we are doing digitally, and it's different. It's a different. I mean, over the last 40 years, this is what we have.
Yeah, it's like
actually
you
longer.
Can't
60.
Experience history. It's like, oh, that's our content. You can't experience that. It's our history. It's like, but we want to experience your history. We want to see what you used to do. It's like going into a museum and having fucking cloths all over all of the paintings, being like, that's mine, and that's mine. You can't look at those. It's like, but I want to experience the art that you've created back then.
The reason that we have Mozart and Beethoven and Bach and these guys, you don't see anybody yelling about royalty rights,
right?
Because they're not allowed to. These are pieces of history. These musical pieces of history.
I think it's because it's newer. It's a new part of history, and it's digital, and people still want ownership. It is.
There needs to be a statute of limitations on it, though, at some point, to where it can be said, yes, this is it. Nobody else can claim this. If you put it out there, then nothing can be done about it. But
well, I mean, there's still an IP ownership to an extent where it's like you can't just recreate this game and sell it as your own because there's
Yeah, but you're dealing with a 119-year-old company too that's just going to continue to be able to do this.
I think that after 30 years, like in my personal opinion, 30 years after the initial release date of the game becomes open to where you can just put it on a website. People can download and play it as they wish. I mean, if you don't...
For no charge.
Yeah, if you want to wait 30 years to play a game, that's fine. That's your own prerogative. But I mean, after that point, it should just kind of be like, it's a piece of history. It's going into the log with all of the rest of the games that have ever come out. And then we're going to, keep moving on. Because let's see, what is it, 2018? It'd be 1980, 1998 or 1998.
1988.
Yeah, 1988.
Think of when you were born and then math.
30 years. So 2 years back from when I was born. So
that's how I do a lot of my math, to be honest.
But yeah, 30 years is a good time because, I mean, we would just now be filling up that library with Nintendo games and all of those originals. And that's perfectly fine. Nobody fucking cares about that stuff now.
That's not true. People do care about
focused. Well, most people are focused on whatever's coming out tomorrow and things like that.
Yeah, Nintendo, nobody cares about this. Keep it up on the site.
Yeah, come on. There needs to be a place where we can just, play these old things.
No, video games. There's a history that's there, and people need to know where we started and where we've, continued to progress.
How we got here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that, in
appreciate
another
what we
10 to
have
15
now.
years, we can explain to everybody why only Call of Duty exists.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, this is what we used to have. Look at all these beautiful single-player stories, and then this is what happened.
Yeah.
We promise it's not our fault.
Definitely not my fault. I didn't play them.
And then we adapted everything. Overwatch became a cool thing, so we'll put that in there. Hey, look, Battle Royales became a big thing, so we'll put that in there. We just keep adding everything to Call of Duty.
God, it's dumb.
We're your one-stop shop. You like Overwatch? You like
What else?
Battle Royale? We got you.
What else we got? We're at roughly an hour, so I know I don't want to
do
have
the
to
Torchlight one.
Yeah, I found my article.
Okay, good.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so 9 months after Runic Games, and that hurt me. We talked about it on the podcast. Runic Games are the makers of Torchlight. First one was incredible. Second one was just a straight up improvement across the whole board in it. A new developer is making the next Torchlight game. Torchlight Frontiers is developed by Extra Games, which was founded in early 2016 by Runic Games co-founder Max Schaefer, which I find ironic. It's like Runic Games co-founder broke off, made his own company, then Runic Games failed, so he went and bought his own game back. It's like, yeah, it's my game. I'm gonna go ahead and continue. So, I mean, I have a lot of faith because it's his game. It was his old company, so he knows what it is. But he is planning on making a new Torchlight game called Torchlight Frontier. It's going to be a, and I quote, shared world game, which I assume is MMO style.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there's not any information on it yet, but it's in the works, and it's going to be a lot like what Torchlight was, where lots of dungeons, lots of loot, Diablo-esque. It's a light Diablo-esque game.
Diablo-esque.
Yeah. So not all the horror and whatnot that you see out of a Diablo game.
Okay.
So I'm excited. I want to see what they do, but it is from a Chinese free-to-play publisher.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So it's going to be mobile-esque and tons of microtransactions / purchase things.
And that's what I am
So
super
Torchlight
worried
Frontiers mobile.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Actually, it does say that it's supposed to be PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, but
Doesn't mean it can't not play like a mobile game.
Yep.
So
we will see. So
I have a little bit more faith that it is a guy that's founded the company.
yeah,
I really do have a little bit more faith about that, but
that's the only thing that I have faith in. It's the
right.
co-founder of the original company who made Torchlight. So I've got a lot more faith. If it was anybody else, I'd be like, oh well, great. They're just gonna mobile the shit out of it and throw it to the wolves.
Some quick things. PUBG announces the major bug fixing campaign, which basically what they're going to do is go in and fix bugs. You know, the bugs that we've all been bitching about.
The entire game. The fact that this was a campaign started by your fans, your player base, because they wanted the game to be playable, not because you are a good developer and gave a damn about it being playable. Oh my god, I just want to set things on fire.
Not that billion dollars. They made $1 billion in the first year.
And now they're going to fix it because fans have asked them to. It's almost like, fine, I guess if you guys want to keep playing, we'll make it work. You are the flagship of early access for Microsoft, which, by the way, this is 2 in a row, Microsoft. What the hell's your problem? Ark was garbage,
I thought
too.
Ark was the flagship.
Yeah, well,
Ark's
this is the
current
news.
flagship. Ark's
Yeah.
already been released. Was already released.
Nobody cares about Ark anymore.
Oh yeah, that's right. PUBG. It's not been fully released on
It has been fully released now,
on console.
but it's horrible.
Holy shit!
It's an early access game with a full release. Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Which is exactly what PUBG is going to be, too,
Yeah.
because
So
even though they're
and that's what
fixing
makes
it,
me angry when I always hear people like, "Oh, that's all. Sea of Thieves is just basically an early access
Like,
game."
no,
it's
Ark
not.
is the
I got a
same.
nice polished game. It might not have the content everybody wanted, but I know that I paid $60 one time and I get every fucking thing I'll ever get.
Yep, and it's fucking everything. You got a huge puddle that works super well, and now they are filling with all the toys that you want.
Yeah.
It's like, hell yeah, bring it on.
The skull forts are back. Everything's back. We're good.
Exactly.
See, Halo TV show that we first heard about in 2013, by the way. 2013 was the first time we heard about this Halo TV show.
Probably it's not the same program now that it would have been back then.
Nah, I seriously doubt it is. It's due in 2020. And it is going to feature, it's confirmed, featuring Master Chief in the main role.
And they want to
And
tell
we better
a new
never
story.
see him out of his suit.
Yeah, apparently
Better just
that's
have-
something they've talked about already, is whether or not...
I will slap a director. Whoever thinks he has enough balls to try and do that in a TV show, slap a fool.
For those that aren't familiar with the reason this is a big deal for Halo fans, the reason is because we don't see Master Chief. We are Master Chief.
Yes.
Yes.
We are that guy.
Yeah.
We
And-
are the chief.
Yeah, and so, like,
I mean-
that attachment is, we went through these adventures, and yes, that's not necessarily our voice, but we went through these adventures, and that's us, in the suit.
Yes.
We don't need to see it, at all.
No, it's just part of his character.
Yeah.
There are just some things that are supposed to be left to mystery.
There is no person, think about this for a minute, face you could come up with anything that if they took the helmet completely off and you saw it, that you would go, oh, that's
what I
definitely
thought.
Master Chief. That's definitely
no.
him.
No,
There is
there's
no one
No.
that has existed in
Well,
history.
I'll tell you why, though, is it's because we've been Master Chief for so long that every single one of us has our own, like, this is what the voice sounds like to me. I think that, this is what I see. And
Despite
nobody
knowing
will
what
ever
this
fit
voice
that.
actor looks
Yeah.
like, it ain't him.
Nope.
Like, no actor will ever fit that role for us. So, and if you were like, oh, I definitely think it looks like Josh Brolin. Okay, I'll tell you right now, he's not Josh Brolin.
Okay.
But just because that's what you think, I doubt you'd be hard pressed to find, a large group of other people that would agree with you on that.
It doesn't matter if it becomes
he's
Troy
different.
Baker. Griff is not going to be for it.
Master Chief doesn't take his
the
helmet
one
off.
role.
Someone special.
He does not take his helmet off.
No.
People.
Don't do it. Just don't do
You
it.
have plenty of other
Don't do
faces
it.
to use in that series. Anyway,
Exactly.
what else we got? I thought you had something.
The only other thing we got is Nintendo confirms that Castlevania crossover, and then they announced some Super Smash Brothers fighting stuff and all that.
The Castlevania map for Super Smash Bros., by the way, looked really awesome. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it's pretty.
Yeah, looks
it's awesome.
good.
And Negan's coming to Tekken 7 as DLC because reasons. Chicken, would you like to make your joke?
No.
Okay.
You sure? You
Yes.
kind of shot him down at the beginning of
Yeah, she
before we
sure as hell
started,
did.
so that it's kind of. I can't blame him. I wouldn't do it either. I really want to touch on the other one, but I know it's going to take forever. Can we just save that till next week? Do you may have a problem with that?
Yeah, we definitely have to save that one for next.
Because I think
that
it
is
needs
gonna be
because
a
Griff
deep
needs to finish reading it
subject.
too. So
Yeah, I need to finish reading it, and next week I imagine will be World of Warcraft and this, and
Yeah.
that's it.
yeah, which
I
is fine. That's cool. I'm cool with that.
Unless something
Yeah.
ridiculous happens in
I can
gaming over the
contribute
course
to
of the week.
this, and then ask questions from the outside too.
Yeah.
Of what the fuck did I just watch? What happened? I don't understand. Too funny. All right.
Oops. That's like the third time in the show. This is for people listening, because you guys probably didn't hear it, but 3 times today I've accidentally hit the table that my mic is on. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry.
Sorry, ears bleeding. Good job, Griff.
No,
Way
it's
to
just
be.
gonna be rustling sounds, but it's gonna be annoying, and I'm sorry.
Awesome. All right. Anything else to add?
Go watch my YouTube
Oh.
stuff for Uncharted.
Yeah, but I add that in anyway. But go ahead.
Be
Yes.
sure to drop by tomorrow, the stream,
It'll be
today.
today.
Today, the stream. I will
On
probably
Monday.
be live Monday. We'll be going all night through the
Yep.
night and into Tuesday.
Chicken's plan is
Ollie
to
will
be
get to watch
on
you.
Monday at 4 p.m. and we will stop at question mark
Whenever we hit 120, or
or die.
oh yeah, or die trying. 120 or die trying.
Too funny. All right. We do appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can check me out personally at MDBOaktree. Check out Griff.
At Griff's Lanham.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
And of course, when Baka's around, you can also check him out at Baka Pickle. Also, make sure that you go to Griff's YouTube. She's an amazing human being. I love her. I was so glad that she was on the stream this week. She did awesome. And carried us. But anyway,
Put that backpack on, yo.
also make sure that she's going through Uncharted series right now. She's on the second one.
Yeah. This week, because of the World of Warcraft stuff, I just posted on my Twitter about it, like, during the show. But there will only be 3
Good job, way to pay
videos.
attention.
Monday and Tuesday. Well, I was listening. Monday and Tuesday will not have videos. I will be back on Wednesday for that.
Awesome. So yes, definitely make sure you check those out. That gives you an opportunity to catch up while you have Chicken in the background and the World of Warcraft going.
Ollie just got to the jet ski one yesterday, posted a comment on it. He's like, geez, you're really bad at that. I was like, yeah, I know, man. I know.
It's been an ongoing thing for 4 years that we've talked about how bad you are at that jet ski. I think somebody would figure it out by now.
It's because he just got to it. I think he was too busy laughing to type a full comment. But yeah, Ollie, I'm garbage at that. I'm so glad it made you laugh, though.
That's awesome.
Worth it for me to be stupid.
Also, make sure Monday, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, you're going to go to twitch.tv/EliteChicken313. 4 o'clock our time is 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm doing math in my head.
I was
5
okay.
p.m.
I was like,
Eastern.
why is Chicken looking like that?
Oh, I knew what was going on. He does that every time.
Those
5
gears.
5 p.m. Eastern. Go on there. Starting World of Warcraft. It might be an hour of them trying to get in the queue to get onto a server, but
Yeah.
it should be entertaining.
I expect there to be a few server
we've got a full group. It's
Full 5-man. Well, we should have a full 5-man crew. Hopefully everything goes well.
Yeah,
and we get
Bach is still
everybody in.
moving, so we have to hope that he gets set up at least in a temporary way. Fina's supposed to be there. Red, who can sometimes just randomly fall asleep on stairs, will hopefully be awake and with us.
Yeah. He is the one. Ironically, he's the one I'm most worried about, just disappearing and falling asleep. He's pretty resilient. I'll give him that sometimes, and it's usually only during like Warcraft releases that he's like.
I should have
good
sent
to
him the
go.
G Fuel.
Yeah, you should have.
It wouldn't work. He would like get halfway up the stairs with the glass of it and then sit down because he got tired and fall asleep.
You know what's ironic? He probably just has like a set of stairs that go nowhere in his
Just so
house
he can sleep
that he
on
can
them.
just climb up and fall
We
asleep
make fun
on.
of him about that. We mentioned the stairs because that legit happened. Red really did go AFK one night. He's like, I'll be right back, guys. He contacted me 8 hours later because he sat down on the steps halfway up and went to sleep.
He fell asleep on the
So
stairs.
that's a thing, Red.
Yeah.
We now everybody knows.
Yeah, he fell asleep on the stairs.
I feel like at some point when you get enough emotes, you need to have a stairs, just a set of stairs when Red's on the.
It has to be like a little set of stairs with like ZZZ going up them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect.
And I'll make him edit it too.
Make him make his own emote. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
So whenever anybody asks where Red is, you just do the emote.
Also, make sure you go to mixer.com/MDBOaktree. I'll be streaming, well, it'll be past, but I'll have Overcooked 2 tonight. And then some Sea of Thieves and other stuff that's coming in the week. I'm actually going to try to spend some time in Chicken stream as well because I want to watch some WoW. So I'm going to see how that works out. Hopefully I have enough time. Yay! Enjoy that. So make sure that you do all that good stuff. Anything else? We good?
Yeah, that's
We
it.
good?
That's good. Make sure
For
you drop
Infinite
by the stream
Respawn,
tomorrow.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Chicken.
Bye.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.